Hi guys, and welcome to my review of Boku no Hero Academia, chapter 177, and also a little bit about the previous chapter because I did not talk about that. On the note of the previous chapter, Gentle Squirk is nuts. It's really powerful, and he uses it very well. I think there's a lot of potential in him. It's just villain. The thing is, we don't exactly know his motivation. I have a theory, just because he seems like the least villainous villain, and just by the things he's trying to do. Because with the previous chapter and this chapter, it seems like his plan is just infiltrate, and when he's infiltrated, he's met his goal. Because, like, not even getting information and doing anything. It just seems he wants to get in. So I'm gonna talk about that a little later. Just because I want to talk about how cool Deku is first. I really want to say this last time, but like one of the coolest thing is just when Deku does his flick. I mean, nothing will ever be cooler than that. It's so good. I really loved Deku's fighting, both in this chapter and the previous chapter, and how he's, because we had that with when him and All Might, they developed, or were trying to develop the next stage in Deku's fighting, using past experiences. And I really liked how he was, okay, so I can use this that Hatsune made for me in this way, and I can use the dance move that Ashido taught me, and all of these things. And I thought it was so great, because it just reminds us how smart he is. And it's just, so good. And then again, the flick, going back to the roots, goddamn. So good. But this chapter was so well thought out, I think. And I think Gentle is such an interesting villain. I'm not gonna say he's my favorite villain. He has to do a lot to overtake Stain. Just because Stain had that. But I really like Gentle. I don't think you quite understand. I think he's very clever in the way that he fights. Because he's very much... The feeling I first got of him was like the Bucky type villain. Like a bit of like... a gag character. A character who... doesn't really, like, he has a powerful quirk and he has some tricks with it, but he's nowhere near using it to its full potential, and he could be so much more if maybe he was a little smarter or something. But he is very smart. He has a very strict code that he upholds, and I think a bit like Stain, he's a villain, not to be a villain, but because he's, I don't want to say has lost faith in the heroes, but he thinks there's something wrong. So what I'm getting at here is just what I think his motivation is. Because it seems to me that he very much does villainous things to show how easy it is to do it. Because he films everything. That's a sure way to get caught. Like the League of Villains aren't going around logging everything they're doing. But he is. He has a camera girl doing all that. And I just think like the point of infiltrating UA is just so he can show that he did it, even though, as Deku said, they have heightened their security so much for this event because there's been so much shit going on at UA. And if you can have this villain just casually walk in and walk out again, he's showing them that they're doing something wrong. And I really liked how his little mention of like, oh, don't lump me in with those League of Villains guys. Like, I would never kidnap an innocent person. I'd never do the things that they did. Like, because that's again his code. He is gentle. I was about to call him a gentle lover, but that's like the two names put together. I really think that there's something in there that's like kind of stainy, but not really, because they had very different approaches, and I think they're Like, their ideologies are different, because Stain's thing was specifically like, the heroes are just heroes for the sake of being heroes, not for the sake of like actually saving things. They're like in it for themselves, and that's the problem with heroes. They're not in it for other people, but for themselves. Here, I think he's just exploiting the system. He's showing them that there's something fundamentally wrong with whatever they're doing, and I think that's really smart. Because when he talks about Deku, he's like, "Oh, you're such a good hero student. You're such a good UI student. You're like, I'm gonna make it seem like this beam is gonna fall on this man. I'm gonna expect you to save him because that'll save me time, man." Like, he's talking to Deku like he's admiring him. It's not that I don't think he's against heroes. I just think he's against like the system, or he's against like something they're doing, or his point as a villain is not to be a villain, it's to show that there's something wrong with how they conduct things, or there's something wrong with how they do something. And by exposing them the way that he does, that's a very powerful way to do it. So I could be completely wrong about this, but he just doesn't seem like a bad guy. He seems like the guy who's doing bad things to show people how easy it is to do bad things. But he's not doing things that, like, it seems like when he steals stuff, it's not like he's stealing like $10 billion. He's stealing small amounts of things. He's infiltrating things, but not really. I mean, he's not killing people. He's not kidnapping people. He's not like permanently damaging someone. He's just going around doing something that's like minor crimes, but he films it, you know, and proudly calls himself a villain of sorts. I just think that makes him very, very interesting, because obviously when you have Shigaraki or Shisaki, they're obviously aware of that what they're doing. I don't want to say wrong, because obviously they're doing it for a reason, but they know that they're evil, right? Like, if I go over and murder a person, I might have a motive. I might be like, oh, but this person killed like 50 other people. Well, that still makes me a murderer because I murdered him. So that will make me a bad person. But like, Gentle has like standards. He would never just walk up to someone and murder them. Like, if he had I'm like almost 100% sure that if he had like the choice and the opportunity to kill Shigaraki, he probably wouldn't do it because he has standards not to kill people. I want to know more about it. I think he's very, very interesting, and obviously now we had the little tease with Lover's Court, which, at the rate this is going, I'm just expecting it to be completely crazy. I mean, what could it even be? I have no freaking clue. A little side note, I think that the girls' costumes are really cute. I would like to own those, even though I'm pretty sure they were crop tops, and I don't like wearing crop tops. But Ashido, Minasa, go die in a hole, please. But yeah, this was a really good chapter. I get very excited when Deku does his I want to know more about General. He seems so interesting. He seems like the perfect villain for this arc, which is like kind of nice. And it's like, I don't even know how to describe how perfect he is for this arc, because it's supposed to be lighthearted, and he's lighthearted, but at the same time there's this lurking, like, yeah. Because the thing is, if everything goes according to his plan, they could just go on with his life and still give the show for area and everything. Like, nothing would happen, because they wouldn't detect him. Because I still think they'll end up performing for Eri, and whether they do it during the festival or they just put on a show just for her, I think either way would be really sweet. Yeah, I thought there was two very good chapters, and I'm very interested in learning more about Gentle because he seems so very interesting. Yeah. You can leave a like if you like anything I say. Leave a comment below what you thought of the chapter. And you can subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time. Bye!